Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this webinar. My name is Lee, and I am a Business Development Manager at Argentum Consultants. Our discussion today will circle around the sixth cluster of the Horizon Europe funding programme. Before I start, allow me to give you a very brief introduction to our company. Argentum specialises in EU research and innovation funding. The company was established in 1999 and since then has had vast experience and gained expertise in obtaining governmental funding for innovative technology and research and development. We have 30 employees divided into 3 departments: strategy, business development, and a consulting and writing team. Our vision is to target innovative funding opportunities and to enhance participation and success in multinational research and innovation projects. Argentum is aligned with the EU Commission's goals and works closely with NCPs in order to deepen the understanding of EU directives, guidelines, and value chains. It is Argentum's objective to become the leading expert in cooperation between overlapping technological sectors in the EU. The EU's budget for the years 2021 to 2027 is 1.2 trillion euros, and you can see how it is distributed in the donut chart on this slide. 12% for single market innovation and digital, 36% cohesion, resilience and values, 33% natural resource and environment, 10% other programs, and 9% for neighbourhood and the world. The first stage of funding is choosing the call proposal. When a company chooses a grant for submission, they should consider the following criteria. The field. Bottom up is a call that's open to all fields of technology, whereas top down would be a specific call that's aligned with the EU's agenda. They should also consider the type of funding mechanism. The European one, which is supported by the EU, like Horizon Europe. Bilateral, for example, a technological collaboration between 2 countries, or a national funding initiative. They should consider the type of application procedure as well, whether the submission is as a single applicant or as part of a collaborative project, a consortium. The choice should be made according to the company's needs and strategy, and while considering the success rate of each opportunity. Cluster 6 is part of the programme Horizon Europe, Pillar 2, for food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture, and environment. It targets solutions to make big changes using research innovation for the public policy goals. Cluster 6 is expected to play a key role in the transformation of the EU's economy and ecology for society. It is about the transition between now and 2050 to better manage our natural resources and ensure a sustainable future. It should contribute to the EU Green Deal and the Sustainable Development Goals. Research and innovation should have impact in the areas of intervention presented in this slide. Environmental observation is performed by governments and international organizations and coordinated by the Group on Earth Observation, called GEO. Its objective is to monitor and model the changes of the Earth's atmosphere, oceans, and landscapes. Biodiversity emphasizes the importance to protect the variety of life in the world. On a genetic and ecosystems level, it is targeting the research and innovation that will support achieving policy targets, developing nature-based solutions, and holistic approaches to address the main direct and indirect causes of biodiversity loss. Agriculture, forestry, and rural areas focus on farming and food systems that need to be resilient against the challenges of finite resources, environment degradation, and climate change. This category relates to developing and upscaling knowledge, practices, innovations, and governance that will enable transitions towards sustainable farming systems and rural communities. Seas, oceans, and inland waters is about monitoring, understanding, and protecting oceans and seas. They target to reduce and prevent pollution, climate change, and overexploitation. Food systems is about making food systems more sustainable, more resilient, inclusive, and healthy. It helps develop and test solutions to uncover new market opportunities. Bio-based innovation systems aims to reduce Europe's dependency on oil, coal, and gas. The objective is to promote technological and innovation challenges to developing sustainable and competitive bio-based industries in Europe. Circular systems is also a challenge of the Horizon programme. They want to develop solutions for the sustainable and circular management and use of natural resources. Closely related to this cluster, the EU Commission has released a few missions relative to these topics: climate change, oceans and soil health, and food. We will discuss these other missions in another webinar on the 26th of January. Before we go further into the calls of this cluster, I'll describe the different funding opportunities that you could apply for in this particular theme. The funding mechanism differs across funding opportunities, and the budget per project differs according to each programme. Here you can see the bottom-up opportunities, which are general and open for all kinds of technological innovations, including R&D. The Eurostars programme and the EIC Pathfinder accept the participation methodology of a consortium, whereas the EIC Accelerator allows for single participants. Here you can see some top-down calls. A top-down call means that they are specific to certain topics and they are open calls with specific objectives. Application to these is with a project that fits the requirements of the specific call. Around the Cluster 6 thematic, We can have calls in the program Life, which is about circular economy and quality of life, nature, and biodiversity. Prima is another funding source related to farming systems, agri-food value chain, water management, and welfare nexus. EMFAF is the European Maritime Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund, about food security through the supply of seafood products, a sustainable blue economy, and healthy ocean and seas. It is highly important to understand the value beyond the funding. It enables you to be part of a project, establish strong collaborations, obtain grants, and get into the market. The sixth cluster of the Horizon Europe programme accepts a certain kind of participation method, which is through consortia. This is a collaborative project between 3 or more participants, usually from different EU states or associated countries. The first stage of consolidating the consortium is to match the proposal call to a company that is looking to work on an application which aligns very well with the call. In many of the cases, this participant would be the concept leader of the consortium. After this stage, there comes the targeting of participants who will work on applications that will work with or supplement the application of the concept leader. The contributing participants come from different areas of expertise to work on their developments and in turn aiding the development of the application of the concept leader. Finally, a consortium coordinator is assigned to the whole project. This could be one of the participants in some cases, and in others, it is an external entity. It is up to the coordinator to target partners and to deal with all the procedures with the European Commission. This is an example of a project that we took part in. The project is part of the EU Green Deal. It is called Farm to Fork, and it is one of the objectives of the Green Deal. Here you can see how Infinitus demonstrates how new agri-food systems can be created via transition towards a sustainable, systematic approach, following a new concept entitled From Farm to Fork and Back to Farm. The concept is rooted in the idea that all biomass losses in the agri-food value chain would be intercepted, upcycled, and brought back to food production. This approach, in combination with innovative biocontrol technologies, will allow Infinitus project to reduce chemical pesticides by 50%, the use of mineral fertilizers by 20%, and nutrient losses by 50%. Via integration of the right mix of innovative technologies and cross collaborations between high-level experts in their respective field, Infinitus aims to create synergies and a complete holistic solution and contribute significantly to the EU's farm to fork strategy. New biocontrol products combined with smart digital technologies will generate a new toolbox for farmers and policymakers that will significantly reduce the use of chemical pesticides across Europe. Novel recovery technologies and methodologies will focus on nutrient upcycling in food systems back to food production. This in turn will propel production of next generation organic fertilizers and innovative substrates to produce advanced food products, reduce food losses, and environmental nutrient leaching. Across Europe, 7 demonstration pilots will demonstrate the impact of synergizing technologies. Each pilot site will focus on the demonstration of one new agri-food system. During the demonstration trials, multi-actor events will be organized to disseminate the results and to integrate the feedback of the stakeholders. The expected impact of the Infinitus project is to improve the overall sustainability of the European food systems, resulting in safe, nutritious, affordable food for consumers with minimal impact on environment and biodiversity. Over the next few slides, I will talk a little about specific calls under Cluster 6 for research and innovation actions. This call deals with oceanic carbon cycle. It has a funding rate of 100% of eligible costs. The expected outcome is in support to the European Green Deal and its biodiversity and climate initiatives. Successful proposals will contribute to strengthening the ocean climate nexus by reinforcing the scientific capacity to further our understanding of the natural ocean carbon sinks and their potential role in mitigating and adapting to climate change, and help identify lasting solutions to climate change by paying greater attention to nature-based solutions for healthy and resilient seas and ocean. This call deals with European forest-based research. It has a funding rate of 100% of eligible costs. The expected outcome is to support the new EU forest strategy. Successful proposals will assess research needs and funding possibilities for forestry and the forest-based sector, notably for the multifunctionality and management of forests in Europe, based on the 3 pillars of sustainability: economic, environmental, and social. This call deals with observing and mapping biodiversity and ecosystems, with particular focus on coastal and marine ecosystems. It too has a funding rate of 100% of eligible costs. The expected outcome is in support of the implementation of the Green Deal and the biodiversity strategy. Successful proposals will contribute to many expected outcomes, notably to better understand biodiversity decline, its main direct drivers, and their interrelations. This call deals with agro-ecological approaches in African agriculture systems. It has a funding rate of 100% of eligible costs. The expected outcome is in line with the farm to fork strategy and its promotion of global transitions on sustainable food systems. Successful proposals will provide a comprehensive and integrated response to current and future challenges, benefiting people, nature, and economic growth in Europe and Africa. As to our proposition, we know that the abundance of funding opportunities out there can become challenging to navigate because of the complexity that is part of the submission process, in addition to many details and guidelines that every funding opportunity entails. We have developed a unique method to increase our clients' access to funding while minimizing their efforts. We call this our multi-submission approach, which in a nutshell says, submit to one, submit to all. By following this method of submission, our strategists and consultants are able to get a firmer grasp on the activity of your company, especially your technology. This allows us to better write submission proposals because we gain more depth of knowledge. Moreover, as a submitting company applying to various opportunities, you will have less to work with, be it financially or in terms of manpower, because we will work with your technology and tailor it to fit multiple proposal calls. Lastly, this method immensely raises your chances of winning a grant. This slide offers an overview of our proposal preparation process. The initial step starts with a kick-off meeting, which is followed by the work of a strategist who is in charge of finding proposal calls that are relevant to the activity of your company. This then moves on to the second stage, which is to consolidate a consortium if the program requires more than one participant. If a consortium is not required, the process goes straight to the coordination, which is done by our development team. And finally, it reaches the consultants who write the proposal and submit it online after the revision of a team leader. It is important to point out that the process is always adaptable, and as a long-term client, we are always on the lookout for new publications that are a suitable match for your company's strategy. Later on, our marketing team will send out a follow-up email with a link to book a call. Please feel free to book a one-on-one meeting via the link. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your time today.